What is up, YouTube? My name is Eben, and today we're going to talk about a card that is kind of near and dear to my heart, and I've been dying to build around, and I hope you have too, and that is Noctowl from Breakthrough. He's a 90 HP, Stage 1 colorless Pokemon, and for 2 colorless energy, he deals 20 damage, times the number of item cards in both players' hands combined. Now, needless to say, that opens up the door for some pretty powerful attacks. In fact, this guy could easily KO EXs in a single hit for just 2 colorless energy. That's 1 DCE. He does have Speed Dive here for 70 as well, and a 1 energy retreat, which is of course nice, but primarily we're trying to use his high flight attack to just sweep through things. And on this particular card, I think it's kind of one of those things where instead of talking a lot about all the potential cards that we can use with it, let's just talk about how many cards come to mind just right off the bat for this guy. First of all, hey, this guy's got 90 HP. He in his first form can just be level balled up. A nice item card we can use to get him going, and then we don't play him, we just hold the extra level balls in our hand until we absolutely need them, and that way they power up high flight. Let's talk about, like I mentioned before we even got this far, how good double colorless energy is for this guy. Or indeed lots of Pokemon who can be powered up with Winona, who can thin your deck out of 3 Pokemon, increasing your odds for drawing more item cards. And speaking of colorless Pokemon you might want to draw, well, Shaman EX is a colorless Pokemon, a really good colorless Pokemon, and it likes double colorless energy too. And it likes to draw you cards when you have a smaller hand, which is great for getting you, more item cards. How about the fact that this guy's a stage 1 and you can use evolutions to increase your ability to exploit weakness. Anybody weak to water, fire, or electric. Now they're in your range to deal double damage, making it even easier to score one-shot KOs with his high flight attack. Or, since he does have 90 HP, he's a relatively easy revenge kill for your opponent. Now you can exploit it with teammates, which of course you can also verse a Secret Back, which is another item card you can hold until the KO happens, and you can teammates, get what you need to build up your next Noctowl, and even if not, you can go get 2 item cards with this if all else fails after a knockout. And that's just one more way to stuff your hand thanks to Noctowl and score powerful plays and keep your momentum going. And stocking your hand, well, here's an item card, and you only really need to attach it to your active Pokemon and nobody else, so extra copies can easily just sit in your hand. But this card, whenever they hit your Noctowl, even if it's just one shot to knock him out, he draws you 2 cards. And God forbid they don't knock him out, you could be profiting even more cards off your Noctowl, many of which will be items, since you're the one who controls how your deck is constructed, and therefore you can put in as many items as you need. And you can even think about supporters like Tierno that draw you cards by not shuffling your current hand away or discarding it, just straight up drawing you cards. A great way to stockpile things. And this is a strategy we've already seen in the Metagross deck, the Metagross that likes to profit from cards in your hand. Heck, you could even run Deoxys as one of your other Pokemon, so that as soon as your first turn, for a single energy of any type, you could start drawing cards to power yourself up. Venture into formats like, say, Expanded, and we can talk about cards like Alessa that could get 3 items into your hand all at once. Or even partners like, say, Sableye, who could go ahead and get you a couple of items every turn back into your hand. Powerful items like Hypnotoxic Laser, even, if you want to go that route. And perhaps one of the easiest combination thoughts we've got is Vileplume, whose irritating pollen can lock your opponent's hand, making their items stack up in their hand, meaning they're going to be powering up your Noctowl for you in many cases. And Noctowl doesn't really want you to play your own items, so in many ways Vileplume doesn't really hurt you at all. A very, very good combination. A great way to exploit an opponent who's going to be slowed down by Vileplume anyway. And yeah, we could use Noctowl with Seismitoad EX as well, whose Quaking Punch locks up items in our opponent's hand. But of course, attacking with Noctowl would mean you're not attacking with your Quaking Punch. So Noctowl would be more of a late game cleaner in that case, but still a combination with some synergy that's worthy of talking about. So there you go. That's why, okay, maybe Noctowl, it may or may not be the deck for you, but at the very least, you should be giving this card some serious consideration and trying it out. Because if you haven't, you've kind of ignored an awful lot of good arguments for, well, like I say, at least giving it an honest try. That's what casual playtesting with your friends and hanging out is all about, or using Trading Card Game Online for those of you who can. I mean, that's exactly what those formats are for, testing the viability of cards with this much of an abundance of options. In fact, that's kind of what the game is about. It's about trying new things and becoming better by blazing trails that may or may not have been blazed by anyone before you. So, anyway, until next time, like, comment, subscribe, check me out on Twitter. My link is below. Wouldn't hurt you. Hey, it's free. And until then, I will see you next time.